lockdown. We've got 5 people watching and we're all good. Hi, guys. It's Thursday. All right.
Thursday.
Thursday. And we're here doing, what are we doing today, Luke? Ross? I was about to say Luke.
What are we doing? We're doing peated whiskies.
Awesome. So we're going to start today with the Connemara, which comes in a beautiful tin like that. I'd show you the bottles, but we've only been given empty bottles. It's not very useful. Because they don't trust us with full ones, which is probably a good call. All right, so we are going to be tasting, as usual, in a tasting shaped glass. Like that, is that enough?
Yeah, that should be heaps.
So the Connemara is the only readily available Irish peated malt, single malt whiskey. And it was inspired by drying the barley over the peated malt, over the peat fires. That's where the idea came from.
Well, that's how it started. What you have to do to malt the barley,
yes,
is you have to get it to germinate, which means you need to warm it, keep it nice and warm,
yes,
get it wet and all that sort of stuff. And before they had electricity and gas heaters, they used the peat.
Yeah.
So it was just a very traditional way of doing it, because it was cheap and easy when you're in Scotland or Ireland, because they had peat bogs all over the joint. They didn't know what else to do with them.
Yeah, yeah. So there we go. So oh wow, it's very smoky peat at the front. Their tasting notes say floral heather, but I actually can't get anything except smoke.
I know a couple of heathers, neither of them are floral.
This is true. Oh, you can tell we haven't done this for a while. We're a bit crazy. On the day when we're going back into lockdown too. So here we are. We thought we'd do it from home.
Cheers to lockdown.
Cheers. We thought we'd do it from home because everybody else is at home and locked down. So here we are. So I don't know about you, but I can't get anything else but
the peat
and the smoke. I'm not getting floral heather or.
No, I'm getting some honey smells.
Are you?
And some floral smells, yeah. And a little bit of, I'm trying to get some dried fruit as well. But as ever with these things, you need to get some spirit on your palate before you're actually going to be doing anything, I think.
So we've done a swirl, and now we're going to have a bit of a taste.
Yeah, but you need to get the spirit thing happening on your palate. So the first thing is just to get your palate going.
Condition your palate. The smell is so overpowering. That's all I can taste. Oh no. That's got a bit of vanilla.
Yeah, now that you've got some spirit on your palate.
It is very smooth. As a sweeping generalisation, I think I quite like Irish whiskey.
Well, they're generally a bit sweeter, but they're generally not single malt. So
okay.
It's only been recent times that they've resurrected single malt whiskies in Ireland, but they're
I'm going to try
becoming more and more.
Here's water for you.
A drop of water for me.
Well, I don't know if you want a drop of water, but I'm going to have a little sip of water, and then I'm going to put some water in my whiskey, because one of the things that I've found is just a
couple of drops.
You want some?
I want to drop more whiskey if I may.
Oh, right.
Somehow mysteriously mine's evaporated.
That sort of first day of lockdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we've lost some people. We're only down to 2 people now.
Oh no!
People have fallen off.
Ooh. Who have we got on our 2 people?
I don't know. I can't tell. Ian, is there that?
Yep.
Couple of drops. I'm sure I've said this before, but I always think it's a bit silly, that couple of drops, until you actually do it and you think that really works. Makes a big difference. Oh wow! Now the smoke is not so overdominant.
It brings it all together.
Yeah. Delicious. That's really nice. Now I get a bit more of that honey. I still don't get floral heather. Don't worry about what's going on screen. Just do this. Ross, don't worry about what's on the screen. Just do this.
Okay. I'm certainly getting, I can get the vanilla now as well. So that's presumably that's the oak involved.
I would think so. They say chocolate vanilla.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I get chocolate. Anyway, all right, that's the Connemara number 1.
No, hang on, we're still.
Oh, are we?
I'm getting the malt.
Okay. And when and where would we drink this?
And there is sort of chocolate on the finish.
Is there?
I
don't know about that.
But that.
Would you drink it with chocolate? As an end of the day kind of thing?
That could be the go, in fact.
I might hang on to that and have that with chocolate later on. And where would we drink that? When and where?
There we go.
Smoked caramel, Ian. Bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jamison's is a warm-up. Nice one. Smoked salmon. Yes, that's a good call. You don't think it would overpower the smoked salmon? I think Ian says smoked salmon. I think it would possibly... Maybe if you're getting that really sort of Gravelax kind of thing, that might work. I think just plain smoked salmon would be a bit... I think you'd want it really...
Yeah, I'm getting the caramel thing happening on the nose. Not the heather, but the honey and then sort of
I think we've agreed we don't get floral heather. I don't, mind you, I don't actually know what floral heather tastes like. Or smells like. Oops.
Oh, well. Well, that's won a whole lot of awards over time too. It's very smooth.
So why did the Irish stop making single malts?
It's all to do with the English.
Ah.
It was exactly what they did to the Scots when they had the English occupation. They stopped them doing things by taxing the shit out of it and stuff, and basically making sure they couldn't do anything.
Right.
It was just good old-fashioned English bastardry, really.
Okay.
They looked like the Irish having fun making whiskey, so they stopped it. Put a stop to that.
Yes, and I agree with you. I think Gravelax or hot smoked salmon. Whereas just the plain smoked salmon, I think, would be a bit overwhelmed. But no, nice. Good. I like that. We're keeping you awake, Ross.
Oh, sorry. It's been a long day. Very emotional day today.
We're all back in lockdown. So
everyone's trying to work out whether they're in lockdown.
Okay, so number 2 is the Hellyers Road, which is an Australian whiskey. An Australian whiskey is spelt without the E.
Well, that's
just for fun.
Just for fun, just to confuse us all. Now, these guys where are they? Devonport or Launceston? Devonport.
I don't know.
Launceston.
Burnie.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, well, okay, near Devonport then.
Oh, that's completely different.
Not as much peat.
Oh, I get that apple vanilla.
Yeah, pasta tube.
Oops. That would be a good idea. Spillage.
See, that's what the empty tube looks like. There was a bottle somewhere, but that's the tube.
Bottles here.
Bottles here. Ooh. Oh, yes, it's the bottle. Empty bottle.
I don't trust us with full ones, I know.
Yes, Luke and Eva didn't trust us with full bottles, and now that I see that our standards are, I can understand why. They thought we might do ourselves damage. Truth be known, Luke and Eva have snuck off with the rest of the contents and drunk it all, probably. Anyway, we can say those naughty things, make little jokes about them. They're not here to defend themselves. I know that trick. Yeah.
That's quite different. It's very...
Red apple. I'm on to the red apple.
Oh, I'm not red. I'm green apple.
Yeah?
I think so.
Oh, there's Jen. Hello, Jen. Woo.
Hi, Jen. Banana. That's interesting. Now that you've mentioned it, maybe I'm getting banana as well.
Oh, yeah. I'll go.
Oh, you're going to be in Tassie. Oh, well, you can do it. Ian's going to be in Tassie in a month's time, well, maybe you can, presumably not flying through Melbourne, maybe you can do a bit of a tasting from Tassie and send it to us. That'd be good. It is smoky, but it's not as peaty as the other one. I'm going to taste it now. No, green apple for me. Oh, that malt smoke comes right up the back palate. Ooh. You get that? Sort of.
Yeah, but not different to the other. That was more different peat altogether.
This says
not as bacony. It's more. Yeah, I get the ends campfire thing, but it's
yeah. Their tasting notes say that it has a fresh, smoky finish, which when I read that, thought it sounded like bullshit, because smokiness and freshness sounded like they were not compatible. But I actually think it's right.
Well, hence the campfire idea.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it has got that real cleanness on the end. It's not a long lingering finish at all, is it? You gonna try some water with this one?
Yeah. I think. Beautiful.
Ross is a 4-drop man.
I think well, you know, I think 3.
Right, 3.
You don't want to drown it, but I think there's something. Somehow it releases all the aromas.
I was about to say pheromones, but that's probably not quite what I mean. Maybe it is. The way you've spelt pallet, Ian, it makes it sound like there's a campfire with a pallet burning in it. A pallet fire.
Yes.
Oh well, thanks, Jen. Yes, Jen thinks that she likes the way that the wood and the yellow walls come up with it's very whiskey. It is a bit of a whiskey sort of colour. In fact, it's very like the Hellyers Road label. In fact,
You will notice here there's numerous paintings on the wall, but most of them, this is by Luke. Most of the paintings in here are by Luke. So I wanted some orange to go on the yellow walls, and he seemed to be having an orange face, so we've got a lot of his big orange paintings on the wall.
Which he hates. He takes them off the wall when he's here. Anyway.
Yeah, he gets a bit distressed that I like his painting and he thinks it's shit, but there you go.
He doesn't think, they're of him. Anyway, enough. I really like that. That's nice. Anything else you can taste or smell, Jen?
Oh,
well, I got something else then. That was a real thump of smoke then.
It's sort of like apple pie with sort of.
It's very spicy. I think I'm going to have some water just
to freshen up your palate. Oh, no, yum, that's delicious.
It is, given that we're not actually whiskey drinkers, really. But
we spend so much time practicing drinking everything else as well. That's the problem.
Yes, well, we are practicing putting ourselves on the line. Going by memory, Jen, you've got a good memory. Well, I didn't really think. It's a smell of good smoke, though, not bad smoke, isn't it? Doesn't make you think your house is on fire. That's delicious. Nice and smooth. Yum. And when and where? And with what? This is not with chocolate, I don't think.
No, I'm just trying to think what I would have it with. This is very interesting. I think it might just be on its own by the fire Just reminiscing. Don't know.
Yes, I think you're right, Anne. After dinner, with company, good company, no food. That's a no food whiskey. Whereas I did actually think the Connemara was a food whiskey, which is kind of weird. I'd never used the word food whiskey before. Anyway, that's good.
There's a sweetness on the nose.
Anything else you wanted to say about that one?
No, I really like it. It's won a lot of awards.
It has. Back in 2010, 12? No.
Usually comes up as the best Australian peated whiskey, but I don't know how much competition it gets. Gingerbread. Yes, Jen Donaldson's on it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I don't have any gingerbread this time of year. And you'll be pleased to know I've just had a clean out of our cupboards just because Ian might come and cook in my kitchen. And I have actually thrown everything out of the old biscuit tins because I still had things from Christmas. I mean, they keep, but that's not really the point, is it? All right. Third, but
Yep.
not
the Lagavulin,
least,
8-year-old.
The Lagavulin. And Lagavulin means mill in the hollow. There you go. And I didn't realise that this was the first. There was lots of illegal distilling going on in Islay, and then they decided that they would make it legal. And Lagavulin was the first of the legal distilleries in 1816.
Well, again, it goes back to the English stopping the Scots make whiskey by taxing the shit out of it and banning them and doing everything, but it didn't really work very well, did it?
No, I think they've won that little war. No one's running out to buy English single malt last time I checked. Is there any?
Yes, and Welsh. There's
really?
There's 2 or 3 Welsh distilleries, and now there's 2 English distilleries doing single malt.
Are they allowed?
Well, I haven't authorised it, I must say.
Okay. Well, this is really interesting. For 3 peated whiskies, this is a very different colour. It's much lighter.
Very pale by comparison.
So we should have done that, shouldn't we? I haven't got much left. But it's very pale, whereas the other one, the Hellyers Road and the Connemara are much. Well, it's easier to see in the bottle that they're really quite. I don't know if you can see that, but you
got the reflection.
It doesn't matter. Somebody will work it out. You can sort of see in the bottle that the Lagavulin is very pale, sort of straw, if that. But for 3 peated whiskies, they're very, very different flavours, aren't they? And very different smells. Do you get the salty sea air? I get a bit of salt. There's a bit of that saltiness that you get with some of those salt whiskies, those beachy whiskies. Gins, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, it is very pale straw colour. Yeah, you're quite right. Oh, you prefer the 18? Oh, fair enough, Jen.
This is definitely more in that Islay tradition of peated whiskies where you can get that salty, iodine stuff going on.
It's a bit salty. You get there's a warmth to the smoke that you sort of get. They say sawdust.
Salty sea spray, Ian. Yes, I think we're probably all in the similar.
Yeah, that's what I got too. That sort of driftwood smell that we got out of the beach box.
Ooh, yes, actually, and that's on and I think that's what they're interpreting as the sawdust, but I'm getting that more as a.
I can't remember what sawdust smells like. Once upon a time, you walked into that was the smell of butchers' shops.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Got my age hanging out.
Our childhood. When did that stop? When did sawdust and butcher shop floors actually stop? I remember as a kid it was always like that, and then as a grown up it wasn't. Something happened in between. Was it when I was watching at university or something?
Well, and maybe when you were buying crap meat in supermarkets. But when butcher's paper disappeared?
When
butcher's paper just vanished. I mean, we call it butcher's paper, but anyway, back to the whiskey. Yes, Ian is reminiscing. He's talking about the fact that the beach box, we had a beach box gin, and it was amazing with oysters, and we are going to have a gin tasting dinner. It was going to be in July. We'll see how we go with borders and opening and that sort of stuff.
I think July's fine. I think we
July's
should be fine.
Okay, all right.
We can actually say that, not letting the cat out of the bag very much. No, we've got a few big things planned. One of them is a gin dinner which Ian and Liz have proposed and put together, and Ian will be cooking and matching it with gin and
So we've done some tasting on that already. Haha. And we're going to do some next week, but maybe not, Ian.
And that was going to be around the middle of July.
Yes. So we're going to look at a big flash butcher's dinner.
Gin
dinner. Sorry, it was because Ian was talking about butcher's
gin inspired dinner.
Not a gin-inspired dinner. Gin dinner.
Gin dinner. Yes, a dinner with gin. A ginner. We've also...
It is quite spicy.
That's in July, in the middle of July. In the middle of August, we've got planned an Octomore tasting. Octomore whiskies.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at... We're trying to work out what we can source. I think we're going to do 4 Octomores. We're going to do something like a 9.1, a 10.1 and an 11.1. Or maybe it's going to be a 9.3, a 10.3 and 11.3. So we might even get an 8. We'll see what we can do. So we're going to get like consecutive years or editions, if you like. So that should be good.
Okay.
And on that line, we're going to do then in September the same sort of thing with Diplomatico rum, get the different vintages. We've got a 2004 and a 2005. We're trying to secure a 2006. We're going to do that. So it's all...
Oh, okay. Anyway, back to the whiskey. It's got... a bit of almond. And a bit of spice.
Yeah.
Very warm on the finish after palate. They say apple crumble, but I don't get that at all. Mind you, I don't like apple crumble particularly, so maybe that's it.
I can sort of smell the toffee treacle thing.
Oh, Jen said a Pavlov's dog moment on the Octomore. Yes, that might be nice. And Ian's up for the run. Good-o. Well, the plan is to have all of these sort of out in the market quite early, so we get the mailing lists going and we get people really interested. Because we actually had a sellout crowd for our
Hill of Grace
tasting, which went really well, and a whole lot of people put their hand up to be on the mailing list, which was good, and a whole lot of people who hadn't been in store before, so that was good as well. So yes, we'll be getting onto a bit more of, so every month we'll have
a big
in-store tasting and one of these online ones. So
the
we've got back to back because next week we've got
is it next week?
Barrel aged gin.
Okay.
I think so. Pretty sure.
I have to look at our list.
Pretty sure we've got barrel aged gin. Anyway, anything else you taste with that one? Barrel aged gin. 3rd of June.
It's got a longer and wider and a drier finish, in fact, than the other two.
There's not really a lot of sugar or anything going on in there, is there? No sweetness.
But it's interesting though. It smells of toffee or whatever else was the saltiness, but it doesn't
finish like that.
No, it finishes quite. I get the toasted almonds. I'm not sure about the apple crumble where they get that from. I don't get any apple.
I made that up. No, well, the apple in the Hellyers Road is really pronounced. I really noticed that.
What flavours do you get, Ian? Do you get anything special?
This doesn't scream food at me either.
The saltiness tends to lend itself to more things, though.
Yeah, like what? You wouldn't drink it with oysters.
Not even when you're done with the
Worcestershire sauce and stuff.
yeah,
Kilpatrick.
yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, no, I think that because I think that the Worcestershire sauce would kill the flavour.
That's true.
Anyway, delicious. What's your
What about some sort of strong, what about eel? Smoked eel?
Oh, okay. Actually, that wouldn't be bad, smoked eel, because it's quite a dry finish, so that you get cut through all of that.
But
Eel's very fat.
This would cut through the fat.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I think that dryness might cut through the fattiness. Anyway, we can't potter on all night.
Oh, we can.
We can. I think people will probably drop off, rightly so. So, any final notes on those? I think it's really interesting how varied they are. Natural oysters, you think, Ian? Okay. Ross was thinking Kilpatrick.
No, I'm onto the smoked eel, but I might go with sardines, grilled sardines.
Oh, why would you do that when you can do a crisp, dry white with grilled sardines? No, I don't think so. Not for me.
Not for you.
No. I am really impressed by how different these are from each other in terms of the way they look and the way they smell and the way they finish.
I think it's interesting. It'd be interesting to know what the differences in the peat are, because I think the Australian peat seems quite different to the other two.
Yeah, it does.
The smells of you know what I mean? It still smells smoky, but it doesn't smell.
But the barley from Hellyers Road, from memory, comes from, not from here, it comes from there.
Does it? Oh, I can't remember.
Pass me the tin, but I think so.
Yeah, I'm going to read.
No, but I think...
I think I'm with Ian. I think the Hellyers Road is my favourite too, because there's more to it, more complex. But having said that, both the Lagavulin and the Connemara both have their own fan clubs out there. There's just, people just swear by it. So it's...
Yeah, no, the Hellyers Road's my favourite, I think. Mainly because I've never smelled and tasted anything like it. It's good.
Well, thank you too, Ian, and thank you, Iona, and thank you, Jen, etc.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Now, next week we've got barrel-aged gin as an online. So those samples are available to purchase. So just ring us up. We won't have anything else to do except drive things around.
We're back into the essential services mode.
We are.
So
we will only do what's essential, which is delivering people delicious things to taste. So if you think of anybody who needs a bit of a cheer up next week, then sing out and we could sort out some barrel-aged gin for our tasting next Thursday, which would be pretty gorgeous. And then we're out of lockdown again on the Friday, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, touching wood and all that sort of stuff. So there's 3 completely different types of whiskey, as Ian Perry says, with the fabulous palate. They're all nice in their own way. And I think it's really interesting how different the Irish and the Australian and the Scotch are in their representation. So that was really cool. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page for the all of the upcoming tastings. If you want to be added to our mailing list, because the mailing list needs a lot of work, if you want to be added to our mailing list, then please just drop us an email. No, it is a shame we can't drive to South Australia with a delivery in. I'm sorry. I think that would be called making a runner. So shoot us a note with your email address and anything you're particularly interested in, like whiskey, like we know Jen's interested in whiskey.
Well, if you drop us an email, please say how you'd like to be communicated with, because there's no point putting you on the mailing list if you don't like email.
Well, then don't send an email address. That would be the obvious thing to do.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. Yeah.
So if you want to be on the list, drop us a note here on Facebook or send us an email to events
at the Wigseller.
Events at thewigseller.com.au, and we'll put you on the list. And then if you want to say that you really love whiskey or you really love gin, we're also going to start a gin club come next month, and then that will be a gin tasting every month.
Well, Luke and Eva are working on the gin club, so
yes, And so that's sort of something that we're also interested in. So if you're interested in gin, that's obviously a good thing. If you're interested in whiskey, let us know. Rum coming up, all those sorts of yummy things. So that should be good. So we're trying this year to have a bit less in quantity, but better in quality. Apologies for anybody who tried to log on early and we had difficulties with the tech. Those things we will get better at, we promise. We keep saying that, don't we? Anyway, lovely to see you. Hope you're having a good time. Stay safe and stay in touch.
Yeah, rock on.
Rock on, exactly. So see you soon. Bye.
Cheers.